Fun versus addiction. We're talking about progression and how a lot of us, I think, are missing out on moment-to-moment moments as we sort of go through the motions of playing this game. Now, this video is going to reiterate some things I've talked about with Black Ops 7 before, with some new stuff mixed in. A lot of you seem to think that I'm flip-flopping on the game, where I guess the honeymoon period's over because Ian's criticizing it. Not only have I been criticizing it since the beta, the context of how we review a game changes. Like, you have the pre-beta, the post-beta, the pre-launch, the launch, the post-launch. Then with Call of Duty, you have the holiday season where the devs are on vacation. And it's usually around Season 2 Reloaded where we really start to see the devs coming back and, pulling full-time hours for the post-launch of the game, at least those at Treyarch that aren't currently working on their next game. I have a video about that coming soon, but in this video we're talking about progression, and we're talking about why you might be getting burnt on Call of Duty, and how Call of Duty is sort of causing this issue. So, first things first, gameplay. When it comes to games like Black Ops 7, there isn't a lot to consider in a match. One of the things I keep saying about BO7, and I said it about BO6 as well, there's not much to do in these games than just get better. You're supposed to be optimizing your timings and your aim down to milliseconds and millimeters, and that's the core of the game. The game doesn't expand in a moment-to-moment basis much past its initial mechanics. Basically, you are so free to kind of go wherever you want and run wherever you want and jump wherever you want. There's already very little consideration, especially when the maps are simplistic. So in a play session, you're not really focusing on where you are as a player or what power position you're going to be taking. It's all sort of symmetrical and easily laid out. It's a lot of head-on-head engagements, so the best thing to do to enjoy Black Ops 7, unfortunately for some of you, is to just go get good at it, to go be better at it, to go be faster at it. That simplicity can aid in you going through the motions because there's not much to fixate on, but it is also up to you to fixate on the right things. I feel like most of us at this point play Call of Duty going through the motions entirely, not really coming up with plans or any sort of dedicated class or playstyle. That leads me to my next point. Because we're already going through the motions, the things we end up focusing on are more long-term. We're sort of like clocking in for a shift at Call of Duty, putting in our hours, and trying to get whatever new thing they added, or complete the battle pass, or get to a camo challenge completion. And we're not really thinking about the game. And what do I mean by that? Well, I think a lot of us, when we're trying to go for camo challenges, unless the camo challenge specifically tells us to play a certain way, we're not thinking about getting the high ground over the B flag. We're not thinking about where to place a trophy system. We're not thinking about what would be good for a flank. We don't have our classes set up to get active camo as fast as possible and then use that active camo to push out of a spawn trap or to flank into their spawn, not push it so that it rotates, but to keep killing them in their spawn. We're not really coming up with strategies. We're not actually being tactical. That whole concept has been severely hurt since 2019 when they introduced mid-match class customization. Because your class is now just this thing that holds whatever you need in the moment, you're not making classes to prepare for certain types of matches and play styles and what you should counter. The only thing we've had similar to that in the last 6 years was Modern Warfare 2's perk packages. So the last time we saw a system that made us plan our classes was one of the worst perk systems ever. Pretty disappointing, because if we are not really worried about the resource of ammunition, we're not really worried about the resource of sprinting around, because we have unlimited sprint, we could even get tactical sprint if we want to, we have assault packs or scavenger, or just everybody's running the same few weapons, and you have so much starting ammo, and you have extended mags that don't cost you anything, so ammo's not a problem, movement's not a problem, the maps aren't that complicated, and you don't even really have to prepare for a match by making specific classes for specific roles. If you guys are newer to the series, you might not know this, but people used to have to make classes and name them. Like, this is my anti-streak class, my sniper class, my SMG class, my flanking stealth class, my objective class, whatever it might be. And then towards the top, if you're like me, you'd have a go-to class that's more versatile, general purpose, a powerful assault rifle, and a good mix of perks. But like I said in my last video, which will be linked at the end of this one, Black Ops 7 really isn't about building your playstyle, it's about just countering the things that annoy you. So we're already more and more separated from our time playing Black Ops 7 because the maps aren't engaging us because they're so simple, our movement and our ammo is not a resource, and you don't have to prepare for your match before the match starts. So we're just not doing a whole lot of thinking when it comes to Black Ops 7. So how do we sort of reinvigorate our love for the game? Now, I have a video I'm going to be working on about best class setups to have more fun with the game, and I think you guys are really going to like that one if you're struggling. I'm going to give you guys some unique and fun classes to play with, and I really hope you guys like them. But this video is more about the frame of mind. What frame of mind should you be in? Well, it's quite simple. You need to be getting better. You need to be focused on getting better, and you need to be analyzing every gunfight you're in. You need to be aim training against bots. This is how you can lock in when you're playing and not just feel like you're going through the motions like a shift at a retail job. The battle pass, the camo grind, those things will happen. And if you want to target the camo grind, great, go for it. But you need to be thinking about your mechanics, because that's where Black Ops 7 excels. You don't have the other variances. You don't have the classic COD variances. You don't have the Infinity Ward COD variances of like messier maps and harder to control weapons. So really what we have here, super easy weapons, no resource management and no planning, and maps that you'll learn in 2 matches. So what you need to be focused on is yourself, making sure you are your best self so you can enjoy the fruits of your labors. The labors being practice and the fruits being domination. And this is how we separate the fun from addiction. I'm going to do better this play session. I am going to aim better. I am going to go on longer streaks. I am going to stay alive. That is a really exciting idea for a play session. Versus, I hope I get things unlocked. I hope my matches aren't too difficult so that I can unlock annoying thing. Again, challenges are good, but are you just clocking into Black Ops 7 to complete challenges? What's the point? Why unlock all of these things in a game that you're not actually even focused on? Coming up with strategies, using certain pieces of equipment in unique ways. Like how many of you are putting attack insert near the enemy spawn point in domination? How many of you are using active camouflage to push out of a spawn trap, just sprint out into the middle of the map and take ground without being seen? How many of you are using the hunter bots to keep all the enemy streaks out of the sky for your team? Are you guys running 3 green perks to maximize your score when it comes to destroying enemy streaks and playing the objectives so that you can rain down score streaks on the enemies? Or are you just going through the motions? The problem with being an aging gamer is you kind of immediately know what you're dealing with when you start it. It's very, very conceited and bad and makes you overly negative about things you shouldn't be. It's hard to recapture that sort of childlike novelty of everything matters because it's all I know. But when you've known everything, when you've played 15 different COD games and a bunch of other shooters and video games that are much harder than Call of Duty, it's kind of hard to lock in, even though part of you craves it. You want the experience, you want the dopamine, you want the adrenaline, but somehow it just feels like a chore. It's because you're not focusing on yourself. You're not focusing on your hands and your thumbs and your eyes. You're not paying attention to your own skill level. In Black Ops 7, one of the only things to do is get better, like I've said. So do that. That's the best way to enjoy the game. That is where the game is holding all of its cards. Now, is that my preference? Not really, but I'm here to play with the cards that I'm dealt from the franchise that I enjoy. And I do enjoy Black Ops 7, and I enjoy it more when I'm just trying to get better at it. Black Ops 7 is not inherently captivating as a video game when you're just looking at its mechanics and gunplay. There's not even body multipliers on your enemies, so it doesn't really matter even where you shoot them most of the time. If you're trying to be immersed, if you're trying to be captivated by an experience, if you're trying to have a little story in a match of that time you took over this building, or that time you flanked the enemies, or this time you got this crazy 200-meter snipe, if you're trying to have those types of experiences, I'd recommend Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward's Modern Warfare 3. I wouldn't recommend Black Ops 6 or Black Ops 7. Games that are more simplified down and that are all about minimizing your annoyances and improving your gunplay. Then after gunplay, your map awareness and your game sense and player prediction. Recently, we talked about the horseshoe formation on this channel. We talked about going on high streaks by taking a horseshoe pattern around the map, and some of you guys came back to that video to tell me that it helped you guys get longer streaks. Employing a tactic in Black Ops 7 is more than what most people are doing. And you'll find that when you are employing a tactic, you're more mentally engaged in the game. And suddenly, other things, progression and numbers, melt away, and suddenly you're there on the map. You're playing the game, you're immersed because you're making a decision with every step your character takes. This is how you get out of the addiction cycle. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. If you think one of your friends might benefit from this video, go ahead and give them a send. Sharing the video actually helps me out in the algorithm a ton, apparently, so it's one of the best ways you can support a channel. And just let me know what you think about this entire topic down below. That just helps me kind of get a feel for what you guys are thinking. Yeah, end of video. I already said it's over, so you're still sitting here. This is awkward. This is painful. Like, it's like when you say goodbye to somebody and then you're like, bye. And then it's like they keep walking in the same direction as you. It's like, I don't want this sticking to the gameplay stopped. Like, this is a black screen, dude. Like, life is just so finite, so fickle, so short. And to spend your time watching my videos is really inspiring. It's really humbling. But now it's weird. Now it's weird. Now you've sat here too long. I'm not providing you anything. You would literally be better off listening to birds chirp outside your window. Yeah, nothing's happening still. You can go. Thanks for the watch retention though. That's amazing. I mean, 10 plus minutes viewed. I mean, that helps my channel out a lot. This is better than 100 donations on my streams. All right, I'm gonna cut you off because you clearly don't have any self-respect and you're just gonna hang out here forever. So I'm gonna leave, and I hope you find something better to watch than a black screen with somebody just rambling into a mic. Okay, goodbye now.